Over the weekend, two prominent members of the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption picked holes in government's handling of the anti-corruption war. Well, the chairman committee, Professor Ishe Sage, says the president and his team must come up with new ideas to fight corruption, saying Senate President Bukola Saraki's victory at the Code of Conduct Tribunal sets back anti-graft war of the administration. He also added that the judiciary was concentrating more on technicalities rather than the spirit of the law and justice. Let's get more perspective on this, and joining me in the studio is journalist and public affairs analyst Gboyega Akosile. Thank you for your time on TVC News.
Thanks.
Now, it seems that corruption is the most powerful entity in Nigeria at the moment. Am I right?
You're very right. I mean, you couldn't have been more correct. If you take your mind back to pre-2015, the single most important factor in Nigerian politics was corruption, and the APC, the conglomeration of different parties that formed APC then, saw this and they latched on this, and that it was a major campaign trust for them. I mean, people like us, the reason why we would support the party at the time then was the promise that they were going to fight corruption, because an average person who works very hard, who thinks very creatively, and who engages himself or herself in productive venture is being hindered by that monster called corruption in Nigeria. And if corruption is not killed, we'll just be going around this circle. So it begs the question, when are we going to kill this corruption? So when Buhari came on board, the APC came on board, presented Buhari, and going by his antecedent, we felt that, oh, this guy is going to help us, he's going to fight corruption, and of course, we're going to have a better Nigeria. Unfortunately, maybe the health factor, it's taking its toll on the man, and it's really slowing down this fight.
And people are taking advantage?
Yes, the people are taking advantage of that. It's slowing down the fight against corruption. All right,
now there were fears, even during the electioneering period before President Muhammadu Buhari eventually won that election, that one man cannot make a forest and one person cannot fight corruption decisively in the country. That the same set of people that ruled Nigeria for about 16 years, since 1999, practically jumped ship from PDP and joined the APC. The same set of civil servants are still in their offices, and the same set of members of the judiciary are still there. So corruption pretty much was not going to be an easy fight for the present administration. So are you surprised now, because the Presidential Advisory Committee man, Professor Ishe Sage, is highly disappointed at the moment and saying that the judiciary should be blamed for this?
Well, I don't think it's only Professor Ishe Sage that's disappointed. A whole lot of Nigerians, are disappointed. And for the first time in the history of party politics in Nigeria, you find members of the same political party coming out in the open. For instance, Lagos State Publicity Secretary of APC, I read his piece yesterday, what he wrote. He said how the APC is sabotaging President Muhammadu Buhari's fight against corruption. So there are so many other party men and women who have come out in the open to say that, hey, this is not what we promised Nigerians. We promised them to fight corruption. Although you talked about the fact that no one man, no one tree makes it a forest. I would agree with you on that. Now, what President Muhammadu Buhari needed to have done was to have strengthened the institutions that would fight against corruption. Buhari as a person is a major fear to corruption or to corrupt people, okay? But him being out of the equation now, a lot of people are now saying, because we are hearing from the grapevine that there were so many kind of funny deals that went into Senate President Saraki's acquittal by the CCT. I mean, you look, what was the need of that drama by Umar, the president of the CCT, Dandadi Umar, when he was shouting, he was breathing down on Saraki. I said, sit down. I said, what was the need? When you're gonna leave him, please go back home, go and sin no more kind of ruling. I'm not a lawyer, and when you look at it, they understand, you know, better than many of us. They're looking at they're looking more at technicalities, picking holes.
Yeah, so let me come in there. That's where I'm going really. Now, the problem now in Nigeria is having someone, especially for the EFCC now, to have a competent lawyer that will be able to interpret the Nigerian constitution, because right now is very complex. It depends on how professional enough you are to interpret it and somehow convince and confuse the judge.
Yep, and like they always say, you have to prove your case beyond reasonable doubt. And the question remains, what is reasonable doubt? And, you know, if you're going to win a case in court, I mean, somebody who, you'll be surprised, so many, you know, conspiracy theories have been coming up with the man that was just arrested by the police, you know, the Evans, the kidnapper, you know, that in the end, the man may just be set free. That we need, government now needs to have very strong lawyers, very good lawyers, people like late Chief Gani Fawayimi, who would not bother about money, who would look at the veracity of the claims and counterclaims and look at the technicalities, and we'll stand, you know, we'll wait for you where you're coming to hit them. And of course, we'll win the case for government, for the people of Nigeria. Because who are the losers? It is not Buhari. It is not Professor Shibajo. It is you and me. The Nigerian citizens are the losers at the end of the day, because it's going to be, you know, serious progression, you know, geometric progression of corruption will now be what we're going to be witnessing in Nigeria. And a lot of people are now saying, look at the effrontery. Nigerians are saying, I don't know whether you've seen it, you must have seen it, you're a media person, hashtag free Evans. You see the effrontery, you see what Nigerians are now turning into. That if you could free Saraki,
why not a kidnapper?
So you can see the boldness. Now people, the boys that are doing Yahoo Yahoo would now say, hey, what the heck, you know, why shouldn't I do it? Now, if you arrest me, I get a very good lawyer. If I make, you know, some good money, I get a very good lawyer. They're just going to go fight. You know, yeah, they'll get like 3 cents. And I'm told that, you know, some very high-profile lawyers are fighting to represent this man. And of course, you can see that their media team, their media relations team are working. So the corruption is not going to be at the level of the politicians. It is now going to permeate through the entire fabric of Nigerian people. So who are the losers? At the end of the day, it's going to be you and me. Why should I need to work hard? Why should I need to get a lot more creative? Why should I need to do more to build Nigeria, to contribute to the country, when I know that I'm not saying Saraki is guilty. I'm not one of those who do media trial. But what I'm saying is fear that is fair. I mean, we should try these cases, you know, and then try and put something good on the table for the Nigerian people.
Thank you very much for your analysis on TVC News. Gboyega Akosile, a journalist and public affairs analyst. Thank you for calling.
You're welcome.